Welcome back to RamZland. Today I want to show you the amazing reaction between elemental potassium and copper oxide. Check this out. For this reaction, we're going to use elemental potassium. It's stored in mineral oil because it reacts with water. We'll use a little bit of distilled water and copper oxide, a spatula, and a ceramic crucible. Potassium is an alkali metal. It only has 19 protons. It was discovered in 1807 by Sir Humphrey Davy through the electrolysis of molten potassium hydroxide. The first step is to cut a small piece of potassium about the size of your fingernail. You can cut it with a spatula. It's about as soft as butter. And when you cut your potassium, you'll notice that underneath there's this bright silver luster beneath that oxide layer, and that'll soon turn this dull gray color as it begins to develop an oxide layer. But you can literally squeeze it with your fingertips. It's such a very soft metal. It's almost like the consistency of butter. I mean, I can literally squeeze it, flatten it just with my fingertips. But a size about as much as your fingernail is just right for this experiment. The next step is to add about 1 gram of copper oxide to your ceramic crucible. The next step is to dry off your piece of potassium so there's no more mineral oil on it, and just kind of bury it in the middle. And you'll notice that nothing is happening yet. And that's because we need to add a little bit of activation energy. Now we can either heat it up, or we could put a drop of water on potassium, which would make potassium hydroxide and hydrogen gas. But the heat of that reaction would ignite the hydrogen gas, providing the activation energy for it to react with the copper oxide. And I think that's what we're going to do. For safety, we'll start this reaction behind a blast shield on a flame retention blanket. To start the reaction, we'll add a little bit of water. And here are our products. This brown metal that you see right here, that's elemental copper. And this gray metal here is potassium oxide. Here's the balanced equation for this awesome single displacement redox reaction. We start with reactants potassium and copper oxide. We have 2 moles of potassium, that's 2K, and we have 1 mole of copper oxide, that's CuO. When those are combined and activation energy is provided, you get the products copper and potassium oxide. We have 1 mole of copper, that's Cu, and we have 1 mole of potassium oxide, that's K2O. This is a redox reaction because potassium is being oxidized as it loses electrons, and copper is being reduced as it gains electrons. I hope you enjoyed today's edition of RamZland, and I'll see you next time. If you enjoyed this presentation, be sure to remember to like and subscribe.